This is Renee, a physician turned entrepreneur who sold her first healthcare company for 9 figures to Humana, and she's currently working on another AI healthcare startup. Her story is super inspiring as she faced a lot of challenges in her journey. Renee was a chief medical officer who invented a whole genre for facilitating house calls, and while she was running her company, she was also juggling being a caregiver for her parents, and she also gave birth to all her kids. Her first company, Heal, actually played a crucial role in helping patients by changing Medicare rules. Their service allowed any patient to have a house call and to use billing codes for house calls. Heal was also the first company to use real-time insurance eligibility, so patients could know their copay or deductible right away when booking a house call. The good news is no patient ever got a bill for their services from Heal. In this video, we will learn the business model of Renee's second healthcare startup together. And trust me, it's super interesting as Renee will reveal how they're planning to monetize this startup. Let's start from the beginning. Can you give a quick introduction about the company and what are you trying to achieve?
For sure. So I'll just start by introducing myself. My name is Renee Dua. I was the founder of Heal and the former chief medical officer. We sold Heal to Humana. When we sold the company to Humana, Nick and I stepped away and my father had to have a very serious surgery, and I became more involved in giving care to my dad. And I was really finding that, and mind you, I'm a physician, but I was really finding that I was doing a lot of jobs that are not easy, are very time consuming, and don't have to be done by a human being. I was making sure he was getting his refills, I was putting his appointments on his calendar, I was calling and scheduling appointments, and I thought, why isn't software doing this? What is the delay? Certainly we have some, this was 2 years ago, some, they're not perfect, but some models of intelligence and machine learning. Why are we not incorporating those into helping patients? And so Nick and I got together again. We decided we wanted to work on our second startup together. Again, we called it Together. We spent about 2 years in research and design for Together. Again, using humans to build out ideas that we had to simplify health tasks for aging Americans and their caregivers. And they're using the app to keep all their health tasks in a single repository, all on Together, and then use the camera on the phone to check their vitals and talk into the Together app to check their mental health and get a holistic breakdown on how their health is doing.
Wow, that's beautiful. Congratulations on all your success so far. That sounds amazing. So who is the ideal customer for Together?
Anybody can use Together, but we really wanted to focus on aging Americans. When you download the Together app and register, you'll find the first question you're asked is to scan your pill bottle. So when you scan a picture of your pill bottle, the Together app is reading the name of your medications, when you take them, who prescribes them, to what pharmacy you go, and we're building your health profile. So our first objective for aging Americans was to ensure you can use pictures and voice to command Together to auto care coordinate. In the thousands of hours you're not sitting with your doctor, there are health tasks to be done. You can use the Together app to coordinate that care.
How is AI particularly playing a role in this app? Yes. How could you have not done it traditionally?
So we did actually do our pilots traditionally, and economically this doesn't make sense. And we did learn that during our pilot. When we incorporated intelligence and machine learning, and we incorporated it in 3 major ways, which I'll share, we found that we were able to save quite a bit of money and achieve certain results. The first thing we do is share with you prescriptive insights. I know that you take Benazepril. I'm going to remind you to take your medicine every day. I'm going to remind you it's for high blood pressure. I'm going to call your pharmacy and organize your refills 3 days in advance. And I'm going to tell you, you're a person with high blood pressure. Have you had your kidneys checked, right? You are over 50. I know from your birth date. Did you have your colonoscopy, right? Have you had your mammogram? So we start sharing the to-dos, right? And once again, ensuring accurate and preventive care coordination. The second thing we do is we use the camera phone using RPPG technology to look at the vessels, the fluid dynamics under the skin, and determine how high your blood pressure is, what your oxygenation is, your heart rate variability, and pulse ox. And that's really exciting because, for example, if you do take a blood pressure medicine, you know right away how your medication is working for you. And finally, we use voice technology to listen to the intonations of the voice and determine if you have symptoms of anxiety or depression. All of these three services use intelligence. What we learned in our pilots by using intelligence in these three ways, we improved technical literacy. Patients, honestly, they didn't realize their phone could do so much, and everybody has a smartphone, right? We improved health literacy because, once again, they were understanding what medicine they take and why they take it, and they were feeling nudged by a daughter to go get that mammogram or fulfill that refill so that they adhered to their medicine. And then we also improved STARS ratings, which is very important in Medicare Advantage and CMS. STARS ratings is how they get paid, and when patients are compliant and adhere to appointments, adhere to medications, these insurance companies make quite a bit of money. So those are the ways in which we've used AI. The Together app uses it, and then the results that we were able to prove by using it.
Thank you for that. Can you quickly touch on the business model behind the app? You're solving a huge pain point by actually reducing the cost for the patient or the elderly person. Can you talk a little bit about the business model here?
Absolutely. And so Together is totally free for users and caregivers. We have never charged anyone who uses our service, and we have never charged their caregivers. But our business model is as follows. On the back end, all de-identified, we're accumulating quite a bit of data. We're accumulating quite a bit of trending of that data, how a certain person is doing when it comes to managing their blood pressure or blood sugar control. And that data has value. Again, we're not sharing any one person's data, but the de-identified data is very interesting to pharmacy companies, to pharma companies, to electronics companies who understand that your TV should be a hub for health, right? All of this software works on WebOS. So that data management and those data trends have value, and that's what we're using for monetization.
Beautiful. What's the vision for what's coming next for Together app? What are you guys building? What's the next big thing?
Yeah, the most exciting thing that we're building on the Together app is called the Together Companion. Essentially, you can talk into the Together app and start asking about your symptoms and your feelings. Together, I feel nauseated. Together will reply and say, I'm noting that you have Zofran in your medication list. Take it now. I'll check back in 30 minutes. Together, I'm still nauseated. No problem. I'm noting that you have Compazine on your medication list. Take it now. I'll check back in 30 minutes. Together, I remain nauseated. Together says, I know that Dr. Smith wrote these medications for you. Would you like me to call Dr. Smith and get someone from Dr. Smith's office on the phone? Or would you like me to tell you the nearest in-network urgent care or emergency room, right? So we, again, are really allowing users to care coordinate on their own. We're not practicing medicine. We're not replacing the doctor or the doctor's office. I want to be very clear about that. But there are hundreds of things patients can do when they are accurately informed. To create the Together Companion, we have closed data sets. I'm a physician. I'm working with our engineers to help model these responses so that they are not, foolish or make no sense, right? We're very careful how we're responding to patients and ensuring that they know when it's time to see a doctor. There's no more that we can add safely, and it's time to get help.
Thank you for watching another episode of Emerging Tech with Manav. It really fulfills me to make videos on entrepreneurs and tech that's impacting billions of lives. With all that said, you guys need to check out my latest video on Flying Boat by Navier. This was a really fun one to film.